Ooh, the lighting is funky. I look like the Kermit the Frog meme. Oh gosh. I've had a very interesting past 3 months of my life. It all pretty much has to do with the fact that I applied for graduate school. Something that I intended on doing pretty long ago. I mean, with the career path that I decided upon as a 14-year-old, it was pretty much set in stone for me that I would need to go to graduate school. So I fricked that up a little bit. I majored in communication sciences and disorders, and with that major you can either become a speech pathologist or an audiologist, or you can go and do other things related to medicine loosely, psychology loosely, education loosely, or you can be an assistant to a speech pathologist. To be either of the two major things that you can attain with the undergraduate degree, you either become an audiologist or a speech pathologist, you have to go to graduate school. Now, it didn't used to be this way, but now to become an audiologist, you also have to get your doctorate. To become a speech pathologist, you just need your master's. And that's what I wanted to do for a really long time. And there's just been a series of weird domino effects that have not only changed my motivation towards the topic, but also definitely changed the direction of my future, for better or for worse. And I'm gonna try to keep this lighthearted because I've cried about this topic so much and I just don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to be the chick that starts crying about an A- or drop of the hat the second somebody even says grad school, like I'm in tears full out. Like, that's not who I want to be anymore. And I am coming to terms with the fact that not getting into graduate school, even though it hasn't happened yet, it will be okay. And if I do get in, it will be okay. I'm just going to sit on this little boat that we all call life and let the river take me where it's going to. Because if I fight it, I'm just gonna be tired. I used to play a game on like Mario GameCube, like the GameCube game, and I remember not quite knowing how to row the boat and just rowing around in circles, and that's kind of how I feel currently. So, I made two major mistakes during my graduate school application process. Number one was flubbing my GRE really badly. It was mostly my math GRE, and I think that that was something that I knew was going to be a problem for me, but I didn't fully accept that. And I did study for this test. I did not study for my SATs. And the first SAT that I took with having no studying, no background knowledge was the best SAT that I had. And I almost wish that I did that with the GRE because I bought a Princeton review book in January of 2016. So that was at the beginning of the year that we just finished. And I didn't start studying then. I was in school. And it was like my hardest semester yet. I started studying in May, and I would work 2 jobs this summer and I would bring it with me to each of my jobs so it's covered in coffee and pool chemicals because I was a barista and a lifeguard. And I think that my biggest problem was that I didn't like devote time to my GRE book. It was like a side hoe kind of situation with this GRE book, and my own classes and not my social life, but just kind of my hobbies and the things that really gave me joy, which obviously was not studying basic math out of a Princeton review book, came first. And yeah, this GRE book was my side. I would kind of just use it and study from it during the summer when I was working as kind of a side thing. And I do feel like I studied it's quantitative reasoning and then verbal reasoning. So that's the math and the language, English, whatever you want to call it. And the way that that book is set up is that they put the English at the beginning because maybe people have more issues with that, I don't know. The GRE as a whole just blows my mind because I know it's a social construct, it's an educational construct. I don't think that it should be eradicated. I know why it's put into place. It has a good purpose, but it did not serve me very well because of the person that I am. And that's just how it goes down, I guess. That's the way the cookie crumbles because you get stacked up against everyone who is taking the test. So that includes engineers, mathematicians, frickin' rocket scientists, who knows? Because with the math, I didn't study it as much because, I don't know, I feel like I studied the front of the book more, and then it was kind of like, oh, I need to finish this book and get it done. And I wasn't devoting a lot of my pure attention towards it throughout the course of the school year in the summer and otherwise, and it was just really difficult for me. Funnily enough, the first time that I went to take the GRE, It was at a testing center near North Station in Boston, so it was in like a high-rise type of building. And we go in, it seems fine. I talked to a dude next to me, he's like, yeah, I'm here for 9 hours, I'm taking the MCAT. I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm not you. Everything is gonna be fine. And then they inform us that there is construction going on next door for the entire duration of the test taking day. So the entire time that the testing center is open. So yeah, this dude next to me was taking the MCAT because there were people there taking all kinds of tests. It's varying interests, varying schools. And yeah, so some people are taking like a military entrance exam, some people are taking the GREs, some people are taking the praxis, some people are taking a med school exam. And we all had to take this exam in a computer lab, and then the wall that was separating the computer lab, and ironically enough, a construction firm that was being remodeled in some way, they were remodeling this wall that connected the computer lab, and it was just loud banging like such for the entire time. And we had noise canceling headphones, but it was almost like you could feel the vibrations and you could still hear things that were going on. And they provided us with earplugs, which was very kind of them. They were all very sweet. Like, I only went there twice, I only took the test twice, but I think just because of my high stress levels and just kind of general anxiety and wanting to talk to people when I'm in a situation that makes me uncomfortable, they like are chill with me and they remembered me when I came in the second time. So they were all super cool, super nice people. And like I said, I don't hate the GRE. It was just not nice to me. So I flubbed my GRE. I did end up taking it twice, this time later in the afternoon because I thought it would make me perform better and without the loud construction, and I got the exact same preliminary score, which is when it shows up for you right after because it's all computerized. You take it all on the computer. And then when I got my official scores, I went down in math and everything else was the same except for my writing. I went up a point, and literally, I'm just gonna say it, I was in the 27th percentile for math. And with 1 point, you go from being in the 32nd percentile to the 27th percentile. Literally dismal scores. So bad. And then in writing, I went up a point and I was in the 93rd percentile. And they don't even look at that score. They don't care about that score. I mean, I'm not an admissions committee, but it just doesn't seem as important. And basically what happens is you write 2 essays at the beginning of the test, and then you take the rest of the test, and it's 6 total sections. The writing section counts for 1 of those, and then there are 5 more sections, and there's either 1 extra reading and 1 extra writing that doesn't count for anything. It's literally just given to the GRE trolls to continue to torture the population that takes this test and tries to further their damn education. And then secondly, CSDCAS is like the common app for speech pathology and communication disorders students. It is how you apply to schools that decide to utilize it. Same as the common app, some schools don't utilize it, and it's not the portal in which somebody's screaming on my street. Hello? What are you saying? It's probably just an Italian druggie. We have a lot of those. Basically, you need to submit all your materials 3 to 4 weeks before the due date, which, once again, I understand why it is done. I understand why it takes time to process, and I know that it is all just human beings that are working to try to provide me with my application decision and my ultimate education and future within the field. But then again, I wasn't aware of this because it's all in the fine print. I was not aware of this because it's in the FAQs, it's in the fine print of emails. I really knew that something was going to go wrong, and I didn't want to jinx myself and was scared to jinx myself, but I knew that somewhere along the line I was going to miss something. And this is what I missed. I was in NISLA, which is like the Communication Disorders Club. If you're in my major, you would understand it's like how PR has PERSA, it's the Student Association, and everyone told me this. They told me, and I freaked out because it was my personal statements that were not ready. I rewrote my personal statement 10 times, and then I rewrote it for each specific school. Like I had like a master one, and then I personalized it to each school that I applied to. And I just wanted it to be perfect because it was what these schools that I've been dreaming about since I was 18 years old, starting this path, are going to judge me upon. And I really should have just put myself out there a little bit more without worrying about the perfection aspect, because what ended up happening is that I submitted all my materials, I submitted my transcript 3 to 4 weeks early, when they clearly tell you to submit all program materials 3 to 4 weeks early. But I thought I was cheating the system because I entered my transcript, which you need to do manually, and I thought that it was processing and that it would be processed and ready by the time all of my materials came in, and that is not what happened. Yes, basically my transcript did not process in time, so it therefore qualified my application as being incomplete. And I messaged all of my programs specifically, I messaged them personally, and they were all basically like, we really prefer that you not do this, obviously, but because this happened and because you contacted us, you're gonna be like at the bottom of the list of the people that we look at. And my application, I believe, is solid besides my flippin' GRE math score. It is a big ol' blemish. It's like a festering pimple on the beautiful, pristine face of my college career that I worked so hard for. And yeah, I flubbed the GRE and I really messed up the application process, and my future is very uncertain right now. I've talked about it a lot recently, and I think I'm never going to speak of it again after I upload this video to the internet. Yeah, I think that the next 6 months are going to be pretty unexpected, and I'm gonna buckle up and prepare for that, and it's gonna be okay. So I hope that whatever is going on in your life, whatever is currently stressing you the f out, will be resolved soon, because we all deserve happiness, and as long as you work hard and treat others well, there isn't much to life besides that, besides valuing others and valuing yourself. Maybe this was all just put in place for me to learn that. I hope you're having a great day, no matter what's going on. I need to go because the sun is setting. I'll talk to you later. I wonder where the screaming man went. I hope he's doing okay.